Hey guys, it's me Adrian again, just here with a little update on the Lemmings Master System ROM hack that I've been doing. As you can currently see on the screen, currently as I make this video, I'm up to version 1.8. So I've made quite a bit of progress. Since the last video that I uploaded on YouTube. I'll try not to keep this video too long this time. That first video went on for far too long. I'll try and keep it shorter here. I sort of got to mute the audio, otherwise it's hard for me to talk over it. So I might just do that. So in the last video I was mainly just showing off, several levels in the smooth rating. All these old levels, they're all old now because these were the levels I was doing when I first started messing around with the editor. And I was like running into problems with the RAM. And I was like, whoa, shit, what's going on here? They're not building and bashing, they stop right before they get to the end. I had to teach myself to not make the maps so big. So that's, if you didn't watch the last video, I was talked so long about the RAM in the console, and how if you make really large levels, because everything's tile rendered, it all goes into the RAM, and the RAM ends up running out of memory. Like levels like this one, Cleopatra's house, it was just, it got to a point where I had to put steel here just to deter the player from bashing through the bricks there. Because if you bash through those bricks, you build a bridge, and then you bash through these bricks, and then you bash through that pillar, you have to start building bridges. You can build bridges there, but then he won't make it till the end. He'll only build about 2 bridges and then stop, runs out of memory. That's only if it was done by bashing through the bricks. But if you go along the top here, you won't have that problem. You can bash through the pillars, that's fine. So that's the intended way. So I had to just change it, just mentioning that, just recapping from the last video that, all these levels are fully playable, they're beatable. It's just, you've got to sort of teach yourself to sort of conserve and save your builders and your bashers, and not just build long tunnels and stuff for the sake of it, because you might, run into the limit with the RAM. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about the RAM today. I just want to show you some of my new levels. We're not going to go on about smooth. Funky is the second one. It's got all the cut levels from the Commodore Amiga original that were replaced in the Master System retail version for the Sega levels. So they're all here, like the Great Lemming Caper, the Far Side, and then there were 4, Save Me, Cascade. Yeah, they're all here. Plus several new ones. You've got some from Oh No More Lemmings, some new ones, Sega 6, Sega 7, Sega 8. Although I've learned something about Sega 6. Sega 6 here is actually a level from Oh No More Lemmings. I didn't make this one. This is a level Squidgy made. I didn't know it at the time. I thought it was an original level by him, but it's actually an Oh No More Lemmings level. It's been recreated in the Sega tile set. Basically, they all come out really fast, and you've got to build bridges. You've got to get one over, and he's got to race to beat the others to this point here, because he's got to build bridges to get to the exit, while the others have got to walk all the way down here and down here. He ends up beating them if you do it correctly. So yeah. So it was interesting learning about that. From watching other people play, like KYN and some of his long plays, I've noticed things. Squidgy hasn't really, I don't think Squidgy's created any original levels apart from that all the 5s, or Snakes Alive. I'm not sure about Sega 7 or Sega 8 if they're original or not. Doesn't matter. Alternate Route, I think that's from Oh No More Lemmings. That's an original level. These are my levels now. Castle of Common Sense, Faulty Towers there. These are all original. I did these. Well, now we get to some of the original ones. We're now at Limkin 1. Cut levels again. Nightmare on Lem Street. Lemming Lament and It's Not Over Till It's Over. They're actually in the original game. I can show you. But in the original game, as you know, they called it Menacing and What an Awesome Level. But the map is the same. The solution's different, but you know, they obviously, we know they didn't have the rights to put the special levels in, but they still put the special level titles in there for some odd reason. But yeah, well, they're all here anyway. All the cut levels are here. Lemming Lament, It's Not Over Till It's Over. I put these ones in myself. All I did was change the level data. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, this one here, that's what the level is supposed to be. It's meant to be called Lemming Lament, not Menacing, but anyway, the solution, the skill sets are slightly different. There's a slightly different way to do it. The percentage is different. It's 80%, not 75%. It's Not Over Till It's Over. It's not What an Awesome Level. This is what it's originally meant to be. I've looked it up on Neo Lemmings. I've looked up the maps. No bullshit here. They just, I don't know why Probe kept the original names. If we didn't have the rights to Menacing and a beast of a level and what is it, an awesome level, why put the level titles in? Well, just call them what they're really called, Lemming Lament and It's Not Over Till It's Over. So some more original levels here from me, all the 7s. Then we get to the Jazzy rating, and they're nearly all my levels now, from Jazzy onwards. Well, levels that I've either recreated or I've, original ideas myself. That one was done by Squidgy, level 3, because I've only made 28 in this rating. So 3 and 5 are Squidgy's, but everything else is me. That's mine. Well, they're not all my original ideas, but they're all levels I've recreated using pre-existing maps. This one's good. Come on, show us your levels. It's pretty much the map from the Mega Drive level. I think it's Mayhem level 23 or something. I don't know. It's called A Group of Entrances. It was done in the brick, marble brick, rust tile set. That one. Where there was a trapdoor on the top and there was another one on the bottom. And the top group had to help, they had to sort of help each other out halfway. I just changed the level a bit, and I've done it in the grass tile set here because I thought it would look good in the grass tile set. So normally in the original level you'd have some more arrows here and you'd have to dig right down. I changed the last bit, so you have to go this way. You mine down there and then you mine back down there to get around. So it's probably 15% original, but everything else I've just copied and pasted. Just changed it up a little bit. I've put several levels from Lemmings to the Tribes in here as well, and Oh No More Lemmings, and the Mega Drive exclusive levels from Sunsoft. It's a mix of everything, like here, the Magnificent Severn. Like this is from Lemmings to the Tribes. I've recreated all this. I had fun doing it too. This is an interesting level. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll have to look up Arthur Brown to find out what this level is about. It's kind of like a tribute level where I've also made a pun out of it. So there's a reason it says fire there. And it's not just pointing out that the level is a fire tile set. There's a, it's... Just look up Arthur Brown and straight away, within 1 second, you'll see why the level is called what it is and why it says fire. I'll leave it at that. Flying the Mad Pursuit. This is another Lemmings to the Tribes level. So I've done it pretty faithfully too. All the levels I've recreated from Lemmings to the Tribes, they're all slightly easier here than what they were in the original Lemmings to the Tribes, because, see, I've never, here's another one from Lemmings to the Tribes. I could never get into Lemmings to the Tribes. I've got the game on the Mega Drive, Genesis. I've owned it for, 30 years, but I can't get into Lemmings to the Tribes like I can with the first one. The original Lemmings is just perfect, but the second one just doesn't hit the right spot for me, and I know I'm not alone in that. There's like other people think the same. It's like the problem with Lemmings to the Tribes for me is see, in the original Lemmings game here, each level is a standalone. It doesn't matter how many Lemmings you lose in one level, it's not going to affect the next level or the level after that. They're all measured by percentage. Where in Lemmings to the Tribes, there's a gold, silver and bronze medal system, and that's how the game works. You basically got to get a gold medal in every single stage to get a gold piece of the talisman at the end of every tribe to see the real ending at the game, at the end of the game. That's how it works. If you get silver or bronze, you won't see, guess what? You won't be seeing the ending at the end. You just get this shitty message that says, try again, go back and save more lemmings. That's what happens. So it's like in Lemmings to the Tribes, like, the other thing I don't like is that you're deterred from using blockers unless you can free them from the dirt underneath them by mining it out or bashing it out. Because each tribe you get 50 lemmings, right? Doesn't matter whether it's the space tribe, the circus tribe, the Egyptian tribe, whatever. They've all got 50. And if you use a blocker in one level and then you don't set him free or you blow him up, guess what? You've got 49 lemmings in the next level. And if you lose another one, then it becomes 48, 47, 46. See, I hate that. What's the point in having blockers? And although you can beat the tribe by just getting one lemming home in each level, you'll only get a bronze medal, but you'll suffer when you get to the end of the game. If you do that with each tribe, it'll just tell you to go back and save more. What they should have done was like the Sonic games, like give you an alternative ending. If you don't, like with Sonic, if you don't get the Chaos Emeralds, you still get an ending. It's just not the true ending. That's what they should have done with Lemmings to the Tribes, but they didn't. They you just don't get an ending at all, and it's hard to get a gold medal. You have to do the absolute best solution to each level to get that gold medal for each level. That's why here, when I've recreated these levels, this is another one from that game, but I've done it in the ice crystal tile set instead of the sand pillar tile set. I've made them just a little bit easier here, where you're not going to be punished for using a blocker if it's not 100%. So I'm just mentioning that, I could never get into Lemmings to the Tribes. I don't like all the 40, 50 different skills. Half of them are useless. What was the point of having a scooper or a stomper or what's the other one? There was another one. There was a few that were basically the same as the basher and the miner and the digger, but they just called them, a stomper or a scooper, club basher. That's it. I mean, it was so stupid. There were some good skills, like the platformer. I like the platformer. It just builds a straight bridge across. The glue pourer, that was good. The sand pourer, if you wanted to fill in some gaps. But then there were stupid ones like the Magno boots and the shimmier, and there was one where you got to throw rocks to make a path, and you had to be perfect. I remember it in the Highland tribe. It was just dreadful. Look, I even recreated a level from the 2-player mode, the rubbish dump, in 1-player mode. So there's 2 exits here, but there's just, one set of lemmings. There's no green lemmings or anything, but you can choose which way you want to go. So when Highland Lemmings, yeah. See, when this level I sort of recreated using a map from the Highland tribe from Lemmings 2. I tried to, after I did all the classic level tribes levels, I thought I'd have a go at doing some of the other ones, but you've got to sort of come up with your own solution, because you can't use all those different skills. You can't use like a laser blaster and all that shit. So Highland Lemmings, this is like this bit here with the platforms. It's sort of the same. You can see it's sort of familiar, but it's not exactly the same. Just things like that. I would recreate maps when I couldn't think of anything original myself, and that started to happen towards the end here. I'm not finished the ROM hack yet, but I'd say probably when I got to about level 20, 21, when I got around here around stepping stones, I started getting writer's block. Writer's block is when you can't think of anything to write, or I think that's how writers and songwriters and composers, they must get that from time to time, when you just can't think of anything. Stepping stones should have been in the funky rating, but it was, for some reason it wasn't. So I couldn't port it, so I had to recreate it myself. And by the time I got around to recreating it, I was doing the jazzy rank here. So this is a level I recreated myself, using the original map, of course. It's not my original idea. It's from the original Commodore Amiga Lemmings. It would normally be Mayhem level 17. So I'm happy with the way I did this, like the way I did the brickwork there. The level's fully tested, it works, it's playable, you can beat it. It's not one of Squidgy's. That one was mine. I recreated that one, because I couldn't port it from the ROM hack I released before this, which was called Lemmings Restored, which had all the cut. All it did was it had the cut levels from the Amiga version put back into the Master System version, and have the Sega levels removed. Where here I've got all the Sega levels, everything's intact, untouched from Fun to Mayhem, but everything else is included in the last 4 ratings. Yeah, we start to get to some of the Mega Drive levels here, like this one. This one was on the Mega Drive. I think it was in Present. I did a good job recreating it. Yeah, thank God you can just, pinch levels from other games when you can't think of anything. Well, that's what I did. I made a level here for my mate Josh. I don't know if he's seen this or not. He hasn't commented on it. He didn't come to me. I went to him. This is because I was having trouble thinking of anything. And I was still like, 34, 36 levels out from the finish. And I was like, I went to him and I said, look, I'll make a level. I'll dedicate it to you. And he said, yeah, all right. I asked him, I said, what's your favourite tile set? What's your favourite music track? And he told me. And so I sort of just made a level for him. I made sure it wasn't too hard. Put his name in it there. He said he likes the Pugsy track, the level 6 and 23 theme. I don't know what it's called. The Pugs in Space demo. The do 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 do. That one. So it's got that one playing in it. He said was his favourite tile set, the ice crystal tile set. So I made sure it wasn't hard. It's very easy. There's 2 paths you can take. You can either go on the top or you can go on the bottom. It'll both lead you to the same place. It doesn't have any problems with RAM. Not unless you just continually build bridges and dig tunnels just for the sake of it. So yeah, you can bash through the crystals, build a bridge, bash through these pillars, or you can go along the top of the crystals, build a bridge, bash through those pillars, and yeah, just made sure it wasn't hard, and that's all for him. Just an idea. It was just an idea. I couldn't think of anything at the time. Then we get to some more original levels. I sort of got the idea from Lemming drops. If you go right to the left of the map and you go right to the right of the map, you got these twirly pillar things that look like lollipops and Cheerios, and so I thought I'd make a level out of it. So I did. I had a little bit of problem with RAM with this one. I only found the problem with the RAM was if you went through here and then you kept bashing all the way through that pillar. That's why there's a steel plate there to stop the player from bashing here. You can bash along there, that's fine, but just this middle part was causing problems with the RAM limitation, so I had to put that steel plate there. But the level's fully playable, it's fine. More Mega Drive exclusive levels recreated here. Darkness of the Royal Family, not one of mine. I recreated it. So yeah, it's from the Mega Drive. Yeah, let's try and hurry up here. It's Secret of Lemminghood. I think that's the Lemmings to the Tribes level. Yeah. The only difference is I put a brick there because I made the solution slightly easier again. I like to make them slightly easier because sometimes you have to, because in this game it doesn't work like Lemmings to the Tribes. There's no gold, bronze, or silver. Gold, silver, bronze medal system. It's back to percentage, so you've got to slightly alter the solutions at times. Salvage boat, another Mega Drive one, but on the Mega Drive it was done in the brick tile set. Here I done it in the fire tile set. How cool is this? I mean, it's dirt easy. It's just I just changed the tile set. I did that to several of them, just to give them a different coat of paint. Lunchtime is from the Mega Drive. Stray Sheep, this one's from the Mega Drive, but I remember Squidgy said he tried to recreate this level, but he couldn't. This was before I done it, before I had a go. And I think it's because this level originally on the Mega Drive, you couldn't see the exit. It was hidden here. It was like lost something. You had to look for it on your own. And the funny thing is, there is a tile in the palette on the level editor where they just go into the exit, but you can't see the exit. I found it once by accident, but I don't know exactly where it is. So because I couldn't find it, I had to make the exit visible for the level to still work. But I came up with a slightly another idea. I thought, well, okay, it's there. You can see it now, but it's got these arrows on either side, so and it's 100%. So how do you get past the arrows if it's 100%? Well, there is a way. You just have to experiment with it. You certainly can't bash through those arrows. If you build a bridge there and you start bashing there, he's not going to bash. You can definitely dig through it, and you might be able to mine through it. You'll just have to experiment. I'm not going to say any more about that. So then we're on to the heavy rank. This is what I'm up to now. Train Your Body, another Mega Drive exclusive. Again, I'm coming to more of the Mega Drive exclusive ones now, because the writer's block was getting worse. And plus I've got to try and make the levels harder now, because we're in the heavy rank. I can't just make them, 20 of everything and just have fun with it. Have a slice of Leamington cake. This is an original level by me. I had this idea, I was at work, and I had this idea with the bricks, to make them like that. And where you got to build bridges, and you got to build bridges up, and then I had to put something else in the puzzle, so I put this one-way wall here, and yeah, that's an original one, that one. I think the last original level I did was, is this the way to Amarillo? This is the last original level I've done so far. It's another fire one. Yeah. Geez, the video's getting long again. Gonna have to stop talking in a minute. Keep all enemies out. That's from the Mega Drive, but it's done in a different tile set. I've done it in the brick tile set. I know this is from Oh No More Lemmings originally, but I was using the Mega Drive version for inspiration. And the Mega Drive is done in the Ice Crystal tile set. So I wanted to do something different, so I done it in the brick tile set. Give it a different coat of paint. Sometimes it's interesting. Same with Anxiety. That's another Mega Drive one that was done in the Sand Pillar tile set. I did it in the brick tile set. It works. Just Too Good. I think this is a level. This is the only level so far that I've recreated from the PSP version of Lemmings. It had a level called Just. I didn't like the title, so I decided to call it Just Too Good. So this is another recreated one, but it's not from the Mega Drive and it's not from Oh No More Lemmings. It's from the PSP. Because they've got all the maps from Neo Lemmings. They've got all the maps to all the games, so I just pick what I want and recreate it. Dangerous Terrace. Well, it was called Dangerous Balcony on the Mega Drive. And I know it's from Oh No More Lemmings originally. It's called something else. I did it in the Sega tile set for a change. Kind of looks nice in this tile set. I thought, well, I don't use these see good tile sets often, so I thought, why don't I start using some of them? Just for ordinary levels, you know, it doesn't have to be special levels. Gate Trap Lemmings, another Mega Drive exclusive one. I did it in the brick tile set. I did a lot. I'm doing a lot in the brick tile set now because there isn't a lot of brick tile set levels in the Jazzy rating. I concentrated more on the grass ones, the sand pillar ones, and the crystal ice ones in Jazzy, and not so much the fire and the brick ones. Where here I'm sort of concentrated more on the brick ones. Welcome to the party pal. This is from Oh No More Lemmings. Very beautiful looking level. Look at this one. This is from Oh No More Lemmings. It's from the Havoc rating. I'm definitely getting better at the grass tile sets here. You can tell. Look at all the better decoration. Fallen No Life. That's from Mega Drive. Wow, look at that. Look how good it looks. It was originally taxing level 20 on the Mega Drive. It's not exactly the same, the decoration. The solution's the same. Happy Meal Time at McLemmings. I think the level is originally called on the Oh No More Lemmings. I didn't like that title, so I changed it. And I did it in the fire tile set here. This is another Oh No More Lemmings level done in the fire tile set. Just called it something else. Didn't like the original title. There's madness in the method. This is another Oh No More Lemmings level from the Havoc rank. So you guys can play all these. Just go to ROM Hack Plaza. I'll put the link in the description again. It's all there. You can just download the patch it yourself. This is a very nice looking level, this one. It's another map from Oh No More Lemmings. I've just changed the solution ever so slightly. I'm definitely getting good now with these grass tile sets with the decorating. Look at that. So much grass. So I've referenced all sorts of stuff in my level titles. Like, I think I've referenced The Wizard of Oz about 2 or 3 times. I've mentioned several musicians and British comedy sitcoms and quite a few fictional characters. I've made many Lemmings puns, which I love doing, like the Happy Meal Time at McLemmings, and have a slice of Leamington cake. I love doing stuff like that. So here, if you're wondering what a snugglepuss is, that's my wife. Because when I first started making these levels, she said, "Oh, why don't you make a level and name it after me?" And I said, "Oh, okay. We'll see what I can come up with." Because she likes the grass, earth tile sets the best. These ones are her favourite. And Snugglepuss is the name that I call her. So I called it Snugglepuss Meadow. So that's where that came from. Going their separate ways. This is the last level I've done so far. Then 15 onwards is just the regular shit. I don't know where this comes from originally, going their separate ways. It's not from Oh No More Lemmings, and it's not from the Mega Drive. I got the map from Neo Lemmings, and I liked it, so I put it in. Yeah, I've got to stop this video. It's almost as long as the last one. Bloody hell. That's it. Progress is coming along. I've only got, 15, 16 more levels to do until the finish line, and that's it. So hopefully by the end of June or sometime in July it'll be finished. And then I'll start just polishing it up a little bit. Might even include Slogger's colour hack patch. I might reinstate Matt Furness, that put his name back in the credits, because I like doing that, because he was, they didn't put his name in. Probe didn't credit Matt Furness for the music, for the audio conversion, and that always gave me the shits, because he did the music. The music is half the fun of the game. But he wasn't credited for it. There was no Chrysalis credit, nothing. No Sean Hollingworth, nothing. And it always gave me the shits, because when I was a kid, I had Alien 3, I had Back to the Future 3, I had Prince of Persia, and I had Predator 2. I had those games on the Master System. And they all credit Matt Furness, except Lemmings, I think, or Lemmings and maybe Predator 2 were the only two that didn't. But I knew it was him because of the style, Matt Furness has got a different PSG sound on the Master System compared to all the Japanese stuff. There's less of that beatboxing, there's none of that. There's none of that, you get more of this, what do you call it? Like, he makes the square wave sound like an organ, like, there's like a vibrato effect, like can't say that word, arpeggio, vibrato effect, where the square waves can go, and then they start to sound like a broken chord sort of thing, He came out with that sort of sound on the Master System, and it was great, because it was different. And I've got to tell you this quick story. Before I forget. Because I had this game when I was a kid. I had both ports. I had the Master System version, and I had the Mega Drive version. I had the Master System one first, of course, because I had a Master System first, and then a year and a half later I upgraded to the Mega Drive, and then we got the Mega Drive version in the years to follow. Well, when we first got Lemmings, I didn't know how to play the game, and my dad was sitting there at the table, and he was watching me, and it was the Just Dig level. I was just moving backwards and forwards on the map. I didn't know what to do, because I was treating it like a platformer, but it wasn't a platformer. So Dad got the instruction manual out, and he started reading it, and then he took the controller from me, and he started to have a go at it, and he started to learn how to play it, and then he taught me what to do, how to play it. So that's how I got into Lemmings. And I'll always remember when we first got to this level, I think it was As Long As You Try Your Best, level 9. Dad got really excited just for like half a minute. Like, he heard the music and he got really happy. Like, he just, what was it that he said? I'm trying to think. My mind's gone blank. He really liked the music to this level because it was like really good marching music, and it had that bass. It was the first level to use that sawtooth pulse wave, electronic bass sound, and he loved it. And I remember he said, he was shaking his head like bopping to the music, and he said, "I love this fart music." That's what he said. He said, "I love this fart music." I'm thinking, what? What's he going on about? What fart? I think he was referring to the bass. The bass sort of sounds, it's got like a fuzzy electronic farty sound, And I think that's what he was referring to. But God, it was funny. I'll never forget that, I suppose because it sounds a bit like a guitar, I don't know. He just got really excited. I had to share that with you. It's like one of the earliest memories I have of this game. He just got really excited. God bless him. And I remember when we got to this level 11, keep your hair on Mr. Lemming. Like, I've watched most people I watch on YouTube that they're just casual players of Lemmings. They're not like really into the game. They just play it, pull it out occasionally. And when they do, this level is always the level that they get stuck on. It's always the first level that stumps everybody. And you know what? It stumped me and Dad when I was a kid as well. We just couldn't, for days and days, we could not work this level out. when we got here, like, we couldn't get past this bloody thing with the arrows. You couldn't bash through it, you couldn't block and blow. You'd only get about halfway, and it was 85%, so you could only lose, what, 3 lemmings? You could only send 10 over. We were stuck. And it's so easy, but we didn't think of it at the time. Dad even went to work, and he said to one of his colleagues, he said, look, I'm stuck on this level. And his mate at work had the same game, and he knew the solution, but he wouldn't tell him. He said, oh, you'll have to work it out for yourself, because he obviously got further. And then Dad one day, he said, I've got it. He said, he put the game on and he showed me, and he said, he didn't say anything, he just showed me. He said, what he did was he sent 2 over, 2 climbers, 2 floaters. The first one he turned into a blocker. And then when the second one came down, he turned around and he bashed. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. That's, you know, it must be one of those carnival night barrel moments, you know, where I got stuck on that too in Sonic 3. You know, it's just one of those things where like so many people get stuck on that same part of the game. It's like a community thing. I just noticed with this level, this is always the first level that people get stuck on. That thing, those bricks with the arrows, just stumps people. They can't work it out. And that's the other thing. That's another thing I wanted to talk about, but the video's going too long. Is that, like, it's hard to determine what's an easy level and what's a hard level, because everybody's mind works differently. Like, that's a perfect example, that level. Like, it's so easy, but some people will find it so excruciatingly difficult because they just can't think that outside the square, you know? So when I'm recreating levels and making levels myself, it's hard to make the difficulty consistent, because some levels are going to be easier than others and some levels are going to be harder than others, if you follow me. It's like here in the original game, there was some levels in Mayhem that were so easy, and then some that were I'd get stuck on for hours. Like, just a minute is so easy, it's ridiculously easy, and then time to get up was a dreadfully hard level. I hate that one. You know, it's a blocking and blowing level. I hate blocking and blowing levels. That was a really hard one. And Sega 4 was a really hard one too. So 18, 19 and 26 are the bad ones. The Steel Mines of Kessel. There's another blocking and blowing level. I hate it. I hate it. And then you get an easy one. Just a minute part 2. You can do it, you know, in one go. Sega 5, piss easy. That one, piss easy. You know, it's hard because everybody's mind works differently. That's what I mean, like, when I'm creating levels, like, here I'm in the heavy rating, but I don't know, like, I know how to do these levels because I've tested them all, but everybody is different. Like, well, it went glitchy then, didn't it? Like, it's easy when you know how. It literally is. I have to say that. You know, when you don't know the solution, you're looking at the map for hours and hours like a chessboard, and you just can't think of it, you know? What are you going to say? You're going to say it's hard. But once you know how to do it, it becomes easy. So it's hard to make hard levels because the really seasoned experts are going to just whip through them like that, but then casual players are going to be stumped. So I can't please everybody. So I just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, I'll stop the video here. It's gone on longer than the first one. Sorry about that. But yeah, progress is coming along. Hopefully I'll have this ROM hack finished soon. Then I'll just polish it up a bit. And then life will go back to normal. Alright guys. I'll catch you later. Bye now.